Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest, truck trailer RV up here in Frederick, Colorado, right off Interstate 25, about 30 minutes north of Denver. Tons of inventory on the lot. It's springtime, summertime, we're starting to get a ton of new builds in. Inventory units that we're keeping on the lot. Obviously, we've got a ton of inventory on the lot. So behind me today, we'll get right into it, is a Logan coach. It's a 3-horse, 2025. What makes this one unique, obviously you can see behind me already, is I've got a big closet tack opened up on the side of it. So we've got a separate gooseneck storage area, whether you're using it to spend some weekends in with an air mattress and opening up some windows, or you're just using it for that extra bit of storage that those goosenecks provide you, or you've got a bunch of different uses and you're doing a little bit of training out of this and you're running a bunch of equipment in trunks and you need that extra storage. So we'll get right into the gooseneck part of things very quickly. Our connection, obviously the most important part of towing, getting hooked up, 2 5/16 inch gooseneck ball. Make sure you've got the right equipment inside the bed of your truck. Heavy duty safety chains as well. Please use your safety chains, even with your goosenecks. It is required by law. And then we've got a safety breakaway cable over there for our emergency disconnect if we ever have a problem with our connection. So also got a 7-pin back here. We've got it plugged into. It's a nice gray day. Actually, we'll get to show you the benefit of a lot of the LED lights on this trailer today. But we've just got a little battery box, typical 7-pin connection there as well. Do have a manual crank jack on this trailer, buying from Transwest. We've got an awesome support team with techs in our shop in the back. So if you ever want to add something to a Transwest trailer, we can certainly help you with that. With Logan and our other manufacturer we're a dealer for, we can add factory parts too. So it'll look like it came from the factory. If you want to add an electrical or hydraulic jack to this trailer, that's a very easy thing for you to do. We do have a full-size matching spare and wheel and tire here. It is spun around just to protect it a little bit from the elements, as seen as we're sitting right behind the bed of our truck. One thing you'll notice too throughout this trailer is this Vortex liner that they've got coating everywhere that's kind of that open space, whether it's the drop wall here at our gooseneck, whether it's the hitch itself, and then we'll see inside the horse area as well. Really tough material, holds up really well, brings a lot of longevity to these trailers, and very similar to your truck bed liner too. So nice material to deal with. Getting right into things. First and foremost, we've got our open gooseneck tack room here. And really, this is a blank slate. It's a wide open space. Stepping into it, we're a carpeted floor. You'll see, like we talked about, we've got a lot of this Vortex liner coming into it, but wide open space all the way front to back. If you've got a couple big trunks that you want to throw right up against this gooseneck drop wall, you can do that. And then we've got some closet space back here in the back corner as well. I'll kind of tuck myself in here. Even with our LED lights, we found a little dark corner back here. But like I said, if you want to make a little bit of storage trays and shelving over here and affix it to the wall, or kind of make it your own and use this open space however you want, really, it's kind of, like I said, a blank slate and something that you can make a lot of different things work with. Whether, again, like I said, you're storing some big trunks and totes in here, or you've just got a lot of customers that have some things they want to bring along for the show as well. And then working our way up into the gooseneck, like we talked about, very multi-purpose up here. My wife certainly runs a gooseneck trailer and spends a lot of weekends up here in the neck of her trailer. Has a nice little bedroll that she throws up here, opens up a couple of these windows just like we have here, and gets some nice cross ventilation. And it can be a very comfortable place to stay. So nice to have that. This is carpeted as well, and then you'll see we've got another LED up in the nose of the trailer as well. So between all of those, whether you're using this for storage and just some plastic totes up here, or you are spending the weekend, like I said, you've got a lot of different options. A couple small little things that Logan does to make life easy for us. We do have just a nice little flip out step there. Keep things simple, and then again, like I said, we're storing a bunch of trucks and totes down here. We can fold it and get it out of the way. Looking around everywhere, just like I said, on the outside of the trailer too, inside of here, as well as our black Vortex liner. So nice running board as we step out of it. Makes that easy entrance and exit out of this gooseneck area. So nice door holds on these as well. And you have individual light control of the floodlight over your gooseneck tack room door. And then now we'll get into our saddle storage and our tack storage area. So certainly, if you're wanting to use this multi-purpose and stay in there over the weekends, you're able to very easily keep all your tack and sweaty hay saddle pads and all of that equipment out of that shared space and in here. So first and foremost, you've got the flip out saddle rack. Really nice to be able to ground level. I am not a tall guy. Very easily throw all of my saddles on here. Don't have to worry about stepping into a tack room, tripping over stirrups and girths and stuff like that. And then flip that guy right back in there. On our door, we do have a bit of an oversized door, so we can get that saddle rack out very nice and easy, even with our longer saddles. We've got the place for all of our saddle blankets as well. So really nice. We can flip this out. If you're parked up at a show, pull it out there, get a little breeze over those. Hopefully they'll dry out a little bit faster that way. And then a nice little brush tray down here at the bottom too. Great way to keep organized. Great way to throw a couple of things in there. A little bit of literature from Logan sitting in there as well. But a great way to just, first thing you need to grab when you get to the show, whether it's a little bit of show sheen or some fly spray or some hoof paint or something like that. Stepping in and looking inside of this tack room itself, you'll notice, just again, like we talk about, everywhere that we see that black coating is that Vortex liner. So holds up really well. Whether we're storing a few things that are leaning up against there, we're certainly not going to worry about that coating ever rubbing off or anything like that. Up high, we've got carpeted behind all of our hooks. So dual purpose for that. We are sharing this wall with a tack room instead of our horse space, which is more common. But we act first and foremost as a sound deadener, and secondly, really helps these trailers hold their resale value. We've all seen those used trailers with those half U-shaped marks from all our headgear and our bits and stuff like that swinging up against them. And then tucked away over in the corner, we've always had that dead space in all these kinds of trailers, especially the slant load styles. So really nice that we can fit a water tank in there, gravity feed. Very easily throw a 5-gallon water bucket under the middle spigot there and then fill it right at the top with your garden hose from the barn. And again, really easy to bring some water from home, whether you're on a road trip and want to offer some throughout the trip, or whether you're going to a trailhead, you know there's not going to be water or access to that at a show. Really nice to have that. And then that hose hanging up there too will hook up to the bottom of that tank for you as well and let you get it out. Really quick, as we close this up, you'll notice everything's keyed, even our paddle latches down here. So you'll get a master set of keys for the trailer, and it's going to be really nice to be able to lock these guys up tight. Whether you're at a show and you've unloaded all of your tack and you want to put another trunk in here just for storage, and you want to be sure it's secure, or you're staying at a hotel, or you use this at a pretty busy barn or something like that and want to make sure your stuff is secure. Key to like everything around the trailer, and we'll talk bus windows on the other side of the trailer too, but we can lock those up as well so that you stay pretty secure. Both of the tack rooms have a floodlight over the top of them. Those are switched individually along with some switches for the interior. And then you'll work our way to the back of the trailer. You'll see another floodlight over the top as well. Really nice area to tack up our horses. We can tie up over here right next to our tack room, see what we're doing, and then we've got control of those lights. We'll have a load light over the back of the trailer and a mirror image floodlight over the driver's side. That'll be a really nice spot for us to tack up to if parking allows. Maybe you need to park over there. But again, like I said, you'll have a control of those lights there at the rear of the trailer and shed light on what you're doing, whether it's early in the morning, late at night and it's dark. You can tie right here, right below that light, and you see exactly what you're doing. So LED running lights throughout the trailer. You'll see a few on our fenders, some marker lights, and then we'll talk about some tail lights and reverse lights that they do standard now on these trailers. But real quick, before we get to that, we are on 6,000-pound torsion axles with electric drum brakes. We talked about the aluminum wheels. They're on 16-inch wheels with 16-inch tires. These are 10 plies. So we've got a lot of weight carrying capacity on this trailer, and then we'll talk about brakes for just a second. These are electric drums like we talked about. Make sure your tow vehicle has a functioning brake controller. Make sure you have control over the settings of your brakes, and then you can feel the difference between a low setting and a really high setting. And in an ideal world on an empty trailer like this, you would want to be able to lock them up. So make sure you have control of that, and make sure that your tow vehicle is always talking to your trailer and that you have that communication back and forth. And then, like I said, aluminum wheels really dress up these trailers. Really nice look from the steel wheels of the past. So working our way around to the back, before I open up the horse area, we talked LEDs on all the trailers now. First and foremost, the LEDs are really nice. They're a low power draw. there's a lot more visibility out of them at night. And then an added bonus that we're doing now in all the Logans standard from the factory is that reverse light in the middle. So no change to our 7-pin connection, just been a very underutilized part of it. Nice to have that reverse light, whether you're home in the same spot every night, but you just know where to look to back up, and it's nice to be able to see, or it's a brand new spot you've never been and you want to shed a little bit of light on the ground behind you. Even on the shorter trailers, it's nice to have that. Our trucks reverse lights obviously get blocked quite a bit by these trailers, so nice to have that now just as a standard feature. So the Vortex liner really starts to stand out when you open up the back of these trailers. You'll see on our rear doors, on our kick walls, even our head wall and our partition walls, all of that Vortex liner, again, like we said, really holds up well. This is a step-up trailer with the rubber bumpers on the back. If you ever wanted to add a ramp to a trailer, we can certainly help you with that. We can order factory direct Logan parts, and our techs, like I said, will make it look like it was a factory install job. So rubber matted floor over wood flooring. The wood flooring, again, just like everything else on these trailers, is coated in that Vortex liner. So our suggestion with maintenance on the wood floor trailers, once a year, depending on usage, in extreme cases, maybe more, but certainly once a year at minimum, pull your mats out, have a look at everything, wash it out, and with good housekeeping, every time you use your trailer, make sure you clean out any wet shavings that are sitting on there or anything like that to keep things clean. So working our way inside the trailer, our first partition here is a telescoping partition. Real easy, pull this pin, pull that guy in like that, and this enables us to fold this right up against flat against the wall. Little double-ended snap there, so enables these trailers to certainly be multi-use. If you've got a mower you need to run in for service, or a smaller side-by-side maybe you want to run out and do some trail riding with on an off weekend with the horses, you can certainly utilize this space in multiple different ways. So nice to be able to pin those, and certainly too when you're loading your horses. We've always got one hand on our horses, nice to be able to pin those back and have them open in that position and get one tied up, and then you can come back here and close the door right behind them. Working our way in, you see more Vortex liner here at our partition wall, and then again working our way back, it's on the kick walls and then the front walls as well. Really nice material, holds up very well. Looking just quickly into the head area of the trailer, you'll see some drop windows. We'll talk a lot about those when we get over to the driver's side, but they afford a ton of airflow through these trailers. We move a ton of them, but this is a really good view. Logan adds a nice little screen to these. So just one more layer of protection from the small bugs, little road debris that might be coming down. Just a small little layer. It is a fabric screen, so it's not gonna stop a lot, but it's one of those nice little features. Keep the bugs out of your horse's faces, and then certainly very easily removable. A couple little Velcro straps on the bottom, and then it actually just fits right over the top of it. So very easy to remove if you want to clean it, or if you think maybe your horse is going to play with that a little bit more than most. And then above that, nice big heavy duty tie ring too. So if you want to throw some hay nets here, if you want to tie your horse's head, you have that option as well. Over the roof, see each horse has their own roof vent, two-way roof vent. We're a 7-foot tall trailer here, so I can just barely reach these, which is convenient enough, but a couple different functions out of the roof vent. So we can do, first and foremost, day like today, a little rainy and chilly, we can open those backwards and move some air out of the top of this trailer. If you had 3 horses in here, certainly you'd build a lot of moisture and condensation up here. And then on a really hot summer day, we can open those forward and suck a ton of air in the top, over the top of our horses, and move a lot of air through these trailers. So with those drop windows down and these guys opened up, we can move some air through this trailer and keep things as comfortable as possible, even certainly on a hot summer day. Hip side over each of our horses, we have control over them with the master switch at the rear of the trailer, but we do have an LED that we can kind of individualize a little bit if we want to. If we don't want a ton of light in here if we're hauling overnight or something like that, just a little bit. You have that option to pop each one of these on and off if you want, but again, like I said, you get a master switch over there on the driver's side rear panel of the trailer. And again, everything is LEDs now too, so you get a really low power draw on those as well. Slam latches on these partitions. So like we said, we're always one hand on a horse, one hand in a lead, one shank in a hand, something like that. So nice to be able to one-handed operation, pop those open like that, and then slam them shut like that as well. Working our way back outside, we'll close it up for you. As we do, we'll take a quick look at our switch panel there. Just our control of our floodlights on the side and our load lights of the trailer. Nice weather sealed rubber switches, have a nice positive feedback too when you flip them on and off. And that's the control of our interior lights of the trailer as well. Before we drop down some windows real quick, it's a little bit easier to see with these guys up. We do have 3 more tie rings over here on driver's side. Big heavy duty guys, really built to hold horses, and tie up some hay nets if you want to do that and keep things copacetic. If you've got a couple horses that don't get along and you need some on this side and some on that side, you have that option. So summertime, hot day, we're going to open up our bus windows on hip side. We're going to open up all our roof vents, and then we're going to open up all of these drop windows on the head side and move a ton of air through this trailer. If you're traveling down the interstate, you're doing long distance, you can move, like I said, a ton of air through these trailers. And then if you're at a fuel stop, if you're getting ready to load or unload, real easy to drop these jail bars down. So middle bar is spring loaded. That's our latching mechanism that pulls those little pins in off the side track, and they drop right down so we can easily offer some more hay, offer a little bit of water. Like I said, if you're getting ready to load or unload, you can get a shank clipped onto their halter, and then before you travel, obviously flip that guy right back up, and then maybe you'll be able to hear, probably not, the suction cup that holds these down is really tight as well. So a lot of crosswinds. I've driven now through Kansas in quite stiff winds, and I've seen these flop around in competitors' trailers. So they do a really nice job of holding these windows flat against the wall when you are traveling through some of those breezes. And then wintertime, obviously, we're not going to want to blast them with a full face of air. So we do have some smaller bus windows in there just to keep some fresh air moving and keep the horses comfortable and a little bit more temperate. Get everything closed back up and look at the side of this trailer as she's all sealed up. And like I said, those suction cups hold really tight. The one other thing I like about these quite a bit is the bar that connects them, and it's a lot lower height to reach to get that unlatched and drop those windows down. We are 18 and change on the floor overall, so you're getting a lot in a small package, I think, with the closet tack addition. I think our tack room right around a 5-foot short wall in that area. So 26 feet, just a little over 26 feet or a little under 26 feet, sorry, overall length. So again, like I said, not a huge trailer, but you're getting a lot of storage. You're getting a lot of versatility with the tack setup on this trailer. So if you guys have any questions about this trailer, please feel free to reach out to me. If you have questions about tow vehicles and ratings and weights, my email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. My cell phone's 859-509-1282. If you have questions about this trailer specifically, please feel free to reference it on our website. We'll have it pictured. You'll obviously reference the video already. 595N250385 is the stock number. Again, thanks for your time today. Little gray day in Colorado, so glad we could show you a little more of the LED lighting. También hablo español.